Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I been moving around this week, working a little bit. So and I don't really, post it or put it in my story too often if I'm doing something. And so, but I had to fly out and work with a client or clients in that city, and then I flew to another city to work with a sports team, and then flew on back, and I'm headed to an engagement right now. But I wanted to use this time because I got a good little ride, and I wanted to use this time because a lot of times I'll listen to y'all messages or read your emails or your questions and things of that nature, and I can't respond to you just because it's so many that come that if I respond to you, it won't be fair. It'll be favoritism. So if I respond to you and you think you cute, then you like, oh, he responded to me because I'm cute. He trying to flirt. And so if I respond to one person, I gotta respond to everybody. So I just have to read the questions, and then I've learned that over time. So I used to respond to people, but then my wife helped me realize, just me not thinking about it, being naive, it just helped me realize that although a lot of people may be pure, some people may use that as their way in, their way to strike up a conversation, their way to be seen. And so I had to kind of, cut that out on answering the messages. And I do have a website that's like for coaching, for email coaching, and it's called AskTonyGaskins.com. AskTonyGaskins.com. So that way it's like, if you really need something, go to AskTonyGaskins.com, because that's a professional transaction. And God bless you and thank you to those who have used that site. AskTonyGaskins.com. Don't use any other email address other than a Gmail. Create you a Gmail address. Google run the world. You using Google service right now by watching YouTube. So just out of respect for Google, go ahead and go to gmail.com and start you a Gmail, because all the other emails, it typically block them or send them to a junk folder, especially Yahoo. I don't know what's up with Yahoo. But there's a common theme that I noticed, and hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm trying to yell. This engine kind of loud in this car. It's a common theme that I see, and that theme is, women asking me questions. Sometimes men ask questions, but it's very rare. And when men ask questions, it's typically men ask the same question over and over. The men question is, how can I get my woman back? I cheated on her. I took her for granted. How do I get her back? I really do not see. I probably in my entire career, 14-year career as a coach, have gotten one or two questions from men that says, hey, I'm in a relationship, it's going great, how do I make it better? How do I keep it up? How do I keep it fresh? I've seen that question maybe once, at the most twice. Any other time a man reach out to me is, how do I get my woman back? And I wish that was not the case, and that is kind of sad. But when women reach out, it's typically a state of confusion. Does he love me? That's really the common theme. Does he love me? Is this the right guy for me? And a lot of times the answer is no, he's not the right guy. But then sometimes it is a woman who is overthinking, and she just got this timeline on her life. She comparing her life to her friends, her family, to random people on social media, and she life. It's stealing her joy. And she thinking too deep into it. She being too picky. She got too many preferences. She got a great guy. He's an amazing guy. Nothing is wrong with him. But being that she got this option, she just feels spoiled and she get greedy. And she wondering, is this God's best for me? And it's literally nothing wrong with the man that she dealing with, but she wondering, is this God's best for me? And so sometimes it's that, but that's not as often. And, you know, I hear women say like, oh, you know, he loves me, but he shows his love differently. Or he loves me, but he hasn't said it. Or he loves me, but he doesn't show it. Or he loves me, but he's distant. Or, you know, he's cheated numerous times, but I know for a fact that he loves me. And that's where y'all go wrong at. That's where women go wrong. If a man love you, like in love with you, he's not gonna be bringing you pain. He's gonna be alleviating your pain. Unless you just a nuisance yourself. And I have to say that because this is not a one size fits all. Sometimes it's women who are, you know, traumatized and they causing issues and they, you know, just out there themselves. And so her and the man, you know, could be two peas in a pod. It's not always that the woman is perfect and the man is just this degenerate that doesn't know how to love. Sometimes the woman don't know how to love either. And so if you know you that woman and you pushing that man to that, and what we got to realize is humans will human. Humans will human. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can push a person to cheat. Yes, you could push a person to get physical. Yes, you could push a person to curse you out and do this and that because they're human. So humans will react. If they're not getting coaching, if they don't know that, no, you should never do that, even though that's how you being treated or that's how you feel, that's not an excuse to revenge, cheat, or to lash out, or to get physical, or to curse somebody out. That's not a good enough excuse. They may not know. Like, they may be like, okay, this is how you handle this. This is what you do in this situation. And if that's the case, that's possible. Because people will say things that are definite, like, oh, a person will never, ever cheat on you if they love you. And I've said stuff like that. But then I learned, like, that's not, nothing is one size fits all. And a person could love you and they cheat on you out of pain and anger and frustration to get you back, to hurt you the way you hurt them. And to them, that's love. To them, that is how they define love. And to them, love hurts. To them, love is pain. To them, love is war. And so, although it doesn't fall inside of the definition or of real love, each person defines love for him or herself. So in their mind, they could say, yeah, I know I cheated, but I really love you. And that could be true for them. And so that's why it's relative. You know, it's not one size fits all. And so I say that to say, yes, if as a woman you pestering this man, he's faithful, and you accusing him of cheating, he may eventually get fed up and go cheat. And then you can't say, oh, well, you're a no good man and you never loved me because no matter what I did to you or what I said to you, you should have never did nothing with another woman. And that wouldn't be fair. Just like when men test a woman to try to sleep with a woman to see if she wife material, and then the woman give in and sleep with the man, and then the man say, oh, you're not wife material. That's not fair either, because the man did the same thing the woman did. So it's like, it's things that could trigger somebody, provoke somebody that we do, and then the person falls for it, and then we say, ah, got you. And so it's like, if a woman is in a man's face and hit me, hit me, hit me, and pushing them in the forehead, pushing them in the face, slapping them in the chin, punch them in the chest, hit me, and then he mess around and do something back. Oh, I knew it, I knew it. You a woman beater. You this and that. You gonna put your hands on a woman? But if you provoke him and you push him and you push him, then you can't then say, oh, you fell for it, I got you. And that's what some people will do. That's what some people will do. I really hope that was water. Something just splashed on my window. I'm hoping that water and not spit. And that's what we gotta, you know, do better at. And so you have to understand that this for the women, okay? If you are a good woman, meaning you loving this man, and I mean you being objective here, you being real here. You're not just saying, oh, you a good woman, but deep down you know that you be trying to provoke him, you know, you be testing him, and you be doing different little slick stuff. But if you a good woman in the sense that you loving this man, you treating this man with respect, and you're not disrespecting him, you're not cheating on him, you're not triggering him, you're not trying to provoke him, you're not cursing at him, calling him by his name, you know, making him look bad in public. Like, you loving him. You loving him purely. You loving him in a healthy way. And with you doing that, if you're not getting love, meaning if he's not saying I love you, if he's not showing he loves you in some kind of way. So some men may not be physical, like massaging your scalp or, you know, playing in your hair, gelling your edges down. Some men may not be physical because they grew up in a household that there was really no physical touch. There wasn't much affection. So that does not mean that he doesn't love you because he doesn't hug and cuddle, because he may not be that way. And he may not be that way because he did not grow up like that. Now you have to, through conversation, know that that's the case. You can't assume that's the case. He has to have told you, or kind of expressed in a roundabout way, or you seen, like when you went around his family, like, man, they did a church hug. Him and his mama did a church hug. Like, they ain't, you know, two-hand hug. Like, what's going on? And then you know, okay, that's why he's not affectionate. Now, if this man is not affectionate, and you go around his family and he bear hugging his mama and his daddy, and you like, hold on, now that's a lot of affection, but he never hugged me, and you realize that, now you got an issue. Now you got a red flag. Now, if this man never says I love you, and you hear him talk to his mama, his daddy, whoever, brother, sister, and when they get off the phone, say, all right, and they hang up, all right, bye, and they hang up and they not saying I love you, you're like, oh, okay, That's why he doesn't say, I love you. Oh, Lord, what the world hit me? Hit my car now. Come on now. Got to do better out here now, what y'all got going on now. Now you got a problem. So, now this man, what you have to realize is that a man who loves you, you're gonna feel love. However that looks for him, you're gonna feel loved, and you're gonna feel protected. You're gonna feel secure. So for one man, it may be spending money. If he doesn't have like an endless amount of money, like if he's not a multi-millionaire, if he's a multi-millionaire, then spending money doesn't really mean a whole lot. If he makes $1 million or more in a year, spending money doesn't mean a whole lot. In that time, and with that type of man, you want to see more quality time, you want to see more physical touch, and you want more words of affirmation. Just saying this, when I go home, I'm gonna put a mask on and I'm just finna hug my wife. She's sick right now, and I'm just gonna be cuddling her. And because she do like physical touch, but she's not that physical with me, you know. But if she's sitting next to our young son, she'll be playing in his hair, you know. But with me, when she first met me, she used to rub on my face, and I was insecure because I used to have acne growing up, and I tell her don't touch my face. And so she the type, you only gotta tell her something one time, and she'll adjust, and it's hard to get her to go back. So now if I lay my head on her lap, we sitting in the bed, and I lay my head on her thigh, she'll rub my head and, you know, rub my face or what have you. But she's not all that physical. And it make perfect sense because her family not all that, like that, affectionate. Jamaican parents, they not that affectionate. And so I say that to say, you know, that is, you gotta see the explanation for it. And if you don't see the explanation for it, then you got an issue. It's a red flag there. And so one of the things that you have to realize is that although he's a man, he still knows how to show love. Because look at the way he take care of his car, or his shoes, or his watches, or his dog, or his business, his job. Like, watch how he is with other things in his life. And so for me, I show love to my wife, but like my car I'm in right now, this kind of car, most guys, most men can't afford it. It's not a lot of them, but for this kind of car, and I don't say that, you know, bragging, I'm just telling you the truth. So, but it's different levels of this car. Even at the base level, if a man get one of these, they be taking care of that thing. They be washing it every week. They gonna wash it, sometimes 2 times a week. Now, if a man get like the kind of car I'm in, the level I'm in, he wash that thing 2-3 times a week. I see it with my daddy car. And he washed that car up. Even when I let him hold my car, he washed it up over and over and over, because that's how most men gonna be. My car right now is filthy. It's dirty. You could write your name in the back of it in dust, because I don't care about that kind of stuff. I don't, you know, worship material things. So if I didn't show my wife love, I'm really not that affectionate about anything but her. And so she can't do nothing but feel love, because she like, man, he really don't care to work a whole lot. He don't worship his watches. He don't worship his clothes. He'll give away something brand new with the tags on it that costs $400, $500, $800. I done gave away $800 shirts $500 pair of shoes that I've never worn, or that I wore one time. So she see I don't idolize or materialize or worship anything other than God. So anything I do for her, she gotta feel love. And so that's what I mean. It's a thing you have to pay attention to your man. If you're not feeling loved, but you see the way he doing his car, you see the way he take care of his shoes, then you able to say, oh, you know how to show love, because you treat that dog like a princess or like a king. That pit bull you got, that King Corso you got, that whatever German Shepherd you got, you treat that thing like it's, you know, God's gift to man. Then you know, like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So you got to understand that. You got to understand that. And you got to pay attention. And the thing that women do wrong is women taking, it's a couple things you don't want to do. One is you don't want to make excuses for a grown man. You don't want to ignore the signs that's punching you in the nose. And sometimes literally you get punched in the nose. And then sometimes it's the signs, red flags. You don't want to ignore the signs. Do not do that. Don't look at something that's plain as day and everybody and their mama could see it and you ignoring it. That's one thing you want to do. You don't want to do. The second thing you don't want to do is you don't want to adapt to the man. Meaning, don't get in a situation to where this man is not loving you and you adapt to that. And then you become a savage to where you cheating on him, or you lying to him, or you lying on him, you deceiving him, you manipulate him, you using him. Don't adapt to that. Don't make that your norm. Like, be woman enough to walk away before you ignore the red flags or adapt and adjust to the red flags. That's what you don't want to do, because in both of those situations, you lose yourself. So here's the thing, you know, and this is what you got to know and realize and understand. And you could get to this place. What you have to know is that if a man love you, you gonna really feel it. Like, my wife don't have to go to no man or woman who teach on relationships and say, hey, you know, do you think my husband love you? My husband love me, this the situation. She don't have to do that, because I'm working every day to prove to her that I love her. I try to do something every single day to show her that I love her, so that she don't have to wonder. And as humans, we know to do that. We know to do that. Like, your little kids know to do that. Your little kids know to come and hug you and to say, Mama, I love you. Your mama and your daddy, whoever, I love you. They know to do that. As humans, we know to do that. So guess what? Your man knows to do that. Your man know to do that. He's not doing it because he don't want to do it. And remember what I said. Now, I know you, because this y'all, well, different people love differently. That is true, but they still love. Like, your dog don't come up to you and say, I love you. It come up to you and it lick on your leg. It jump up and put it paws on your leg, and you sit down, it jump up in your lap and it licking on your face. It's saying I love you. It ain't saying, hey, I love you. It don't learn how to speak English. It don't learn how to speak your language. It say I love you in its language. So regardless of how a man loves, he's going to find a way to show you he loves you. And he's going to immerse you in that love. He's not going to show you some love and then show you some hate. He's going to show you love over and over and over again. He's going to show you love. And if he love you, he going to speak your language. Come on now. What y'all is doing? You're doing the most. Come on now. Y'all get beside yourself. And why is y'all flying? We not in NASCAR. These men be killing me. This man driving a Ford Escape. That is not no car you need to have pedal to the metal. It's like, calm down, sir. You're in an Escape. Now, if you in a Durango SRT or some Porsche truck, Lamborghini truck that got your engine in it, all right, sir, I get it. You want to get on the gas. But you was in a Ford Escape. That is a cruising car. That's an escape. You have supposed to have an escape on the road. He on my tail. And it's like, sir, if you hit me in the tail, your insurance is not finna cover this. They finna look at you like, sir, you in an Escape. What are we finna do with this car you done hit? And it's like, what is you doing, buddy? Why is you drunk? See, sometimes, when you're on the road, this way you learn if you're a Christian or not. This man behind me, bro, what is you doing? He just a drunk. He just did this. He just a drunk. It's like, buddy, what is you doing? It's like, what you got going on, man? On the road, this way you find out if you're a Christian or not. This way you find out if you're a Christian. And the man, he just flying in his Escape. But I could tell he on that drink. He is on that drink. He can't be regular like that. Y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. But see, I be completely attentive on the road. I'm talking to you in a full, in-depth conversation, giving you the game, but I'm also here. And so don't question how I do it. Don't let your blood pressure rise, because I got everything under control. I'm completely cool, calm, and collected, and I'm totally there. But so you got to understand that the fact that you can't do this, that's because you're not called to this. So it's just like when we, and I'm saying this humbly, but it's like when we watch Michael Jordan highlights, we look at that and like, what in the world? He called to that. So don't let your blood pressure get to running, because I'm talking to you when I'm driving. Because what I'm doing is just like if you was in the car with me and we having a conversation. It's no different than you talking on the phone or you talking to who in the car with you. I'm not looking at the phone. So understand that. Sometimes older people or people who are scary, Tony, you shouldn't be on shooting a video while you driving. I'm not looking at the phone, so technically I'm not shooting a video. The phone watching me. So understand that. So now listen to me. This is the biggest mistake. And I apologize for the video I had to do. I'm sorry, not sorry that say he don't want you, but sometimes when I'm talking like this right here, it's certain women that if they was raised in the trenches, if they come from the hood or they come from a toxic household, if they was raised by a narcissistic mama or narcissistic daddy or something, they threshold of pain is higher. So when you talk to them like this, it don't register. So I had to do that video, he don't want you, and get a little more animated so that the decibels raise the meter in their brain so that they could feel what I'm saying. And then that video for some women is triggering because they done been yelled at or something, or they done been talked to in a mean way from hate, so that even when you talking with a lot of passion from love, it's still. And so you got to know which message is for you. You got to find which message, because I do messages in both styles. So if you come to a message and I'm talking to you like this, and you like, this ain't gonna get to me, this too nice here, I need to hear it a little more blunt, a little more real, then this video ain't for you. You still can listen to it, but you got to realize it ain't for you. But this more my style. I get animated and super passionate when I have a righteous indignation, when I'm really, really upset at the stuff I'm reading that women putting up with and dealing with at the hands of men. I get a little crunk on that. And so understand that. So listen to me. In closing, because I only got 10 minutes. In closing, I want you to understand that these men are not dumb. The man ain't dumb. The man not incompetent. The man is not incapable. The man knows what he doing. The man know how to show love. The man know that a man who is deaf, a man who is blind, a man who is mute, a man who is, has developmental issues, every form of human almost can show love. And so if you got a man and he fully functioning, all his faculties are working properly, and you feel distant, alienated, used, taken for granted, mistreated, abused, whatever, manipulated, deceived, lied to, if you feel away, then he does not love you. The relationship has run its course and it's over. And sometimes there's exceptions to the rule, and so you may need coaching. You may need coaching. Like I coach people, and everything I'm saying to you right now, it may sound cut and dry, but I coach people, and I'm like, well, this don't apply to y'all, because I know you heard me say that on the video, but what you didn't realize, ma'am, is that you toxic. Is that you is a hot mess. So he's your equal. It's just y'all acting out in different ways, but y'all the same person. Two sides of the same coin. And so not everything applies. So if you in a marriage or you're in a long-term relationship, I recommend you doing a one-on-one session. Not a couple session. A one-on-one session. People try to save money. You can't try to be cheap. You can't be cheap about your life. You can't be cheap about your health and wellness. You can't be cheap about that. You got to invest in yourself. So you need to talk to a professional for yourself, so that you could say everything and so that you could hear everything. And in that call, you say what your partner would say about you, or what they have said to you about you. You say that too to the professional, so the professional could help you understand both sides and could say to you what you need to hear. A lot of times people want to do couple session, and it's ineffective, because now when something is said to you that you need to hear, your partner can weaponize that and use that against you and throw that in your face, and could kind of gloat about that. And that's the mistake that we make, trying to have a couple sessions. You got to work on you first. Get to understand you first. Then see if your partner want to do a session. And if your partner don't want to do a session, then you try to implement the changes. You implement the changes that was given to you. And then if you implement the change that was given to you, your partner should change and adjust. And then if he doesn't change, then you see if he will do a session, and you let him know, look, we come to the end, it's over with. We done. If we can't work, if we can't do the work we need to do to get this where we need to get it, then we're gonna have to part ways. And if he still won't do a session, he still won't change, now you know you have done everything in your power to see if this can work, and now you could go on about your business. As painful as it may be, you need to go on about your business. So hey, stop ignoring the signs and stop adapting to the wolverine. Don't be no wolf. Don't be no savage. Don't be no grown girl because you got a grown boy. Be who you are called to be. Be who you called to be. Keep your self-respect. Love yourself. And do right. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.